Yes. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Miracles of Health. Own your own body. My name is Paul Hort. I'm happy to be here. Thank you all for coming out. And tonight we have the privilege of having Judy share all of her insights and everything all about acid, alkaline, and balance for your gut. Let's give a nice warm welcome to Judy Marie.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
So, I think we're going to start off by hearing you share a few things.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's interesting starting out. It's like a lot of times we get a little bit I'm just speaking from, we're a bit kind of confused on where to go, where to start, what can I add to make things better. And I remember hearing years ago, it's like we don't need to add to our lives to make it better, we need to remove. And the more we let go of things that don't serve us, things tend to speed up. And then meeting with Judy and getting involved in detoxification and the detox, it kind of expand things a little bit. And my conversations with people are changing, and it's because I'm going through this. And ever since I started to commit to the cleanse, um, things are changing. Uh, I'm more in tune with how my body feels, and with all of those toxins, it's hard to read that. And it's like I'm listening to my body, what it wants to, consume. And with all of these toxins, it's hard to read that. So I just wanted to share a little bit of that, and kind of what I'm going through starting out. I mean, it's been about a month, and I'm like more energy. I feel clearer. My conversations with people, it's like I'm attracting people that are looking for the same thing. And it's like, well, let's start removing and then build from there. So I'm just grateful to be a part of this, and learning just like everybody else as we go. And I just feel more comfortable in my own skin just by removing what's not serving me. And I'm really grateful to be here and learning with everyone else. So
Thank you. Thank you,
yeah.
Paul. And welcome everyone who is on. We've got Joel in the UK and Danilo. Hello, welcome. And it's just really neat to be able to share what is so passionate for me to share this information, but also how valuable it can be, especially if some of you are being challenged with some of the issues that I'm going to be talking about, and give you some solutions tonight. Maybe a number of you have tested your pH before. I'm not sure if you could just raise your hand if you ever have tested your pH. Okay, I don't think there are too many here. Now, you've just raised the bar of how important I've got to really get this message across to you. So you know how there's a average temperature, what's known for the body is 98.6 Fahrenheit. Then we know we don't have a fever, right? There are ranges of pH that is absolutely vital and important to know so the body can heal properly. And pretty soon I'm going to take you through some of those slides. When the body is too acidic, which is most people, it affects cholesterol levels, it affects the heart, it affects blood sugar, it affects our energy. We're trying to feel better, and yet we're feeding the body, we're doing things to the body that still we're creating a very acidic condition. This is universal. This is a science fact. This is not going to ever change, to know about how important it is to check and to know what your pH is and what to do to help change that. I'll share a little background with me. I was raised with a lot of meat. My father owned a meat plant, not too far from where Lois, who's on the line from, and so we had a feast all the time. We had plenty. We would make ground hamburger. We had to taste it raw. We made sausages. Just a lot of meat. And as a child, I had a lot of gut problems, and I was severely constipated all the time, painfully constipated all the time. And I had lower back issues. I had degenerative bone conditions. It just went on and on. And then when years and years later, when I started to get on the path of herbs and detoxifying from being deathly ill, I was astounded by how much waste would continue to come out of the body. I was just amazed how, and then I started really studying this, and I started really learning how important it is to release the toxins, but we've got to also change and we're talking tonight pH of the blood. I'm not talking about the pH of the stomach. That would be, but what I'm talking about is going to affect your pH of your stomach, okay? So, anyways, when our body is too acidic, it takes more calcium out of the bones. It takes magnesium out of the heart. It affects muscle tone. It will continue to weaken the health state of all of our organs and every cell. And no matter what illness, no matter what condition a person is being challenged with, again, and I've shared this on other calls, 2 reasons why the body can get out of balance: not enough of something or too much of something else, deficiency and toxicity. So tonight we're talking about releasing toxins out of the bloodstream, out of the body, definitely the gut, by becoming aware of how we can change our pH level based upon what it's tested to be. And we have a chart tonight I want to go through and show you as well, because a lot of us would have, after testing the pH, see that our acidic level is very high. And this is when people start building plaque buildup on the arteries. That's a natural safety mechanism the body's doing, because if the body didn't produce the plaque, it would literally burn holes in the vessels. Okay? Acid burns holes, no doubt about it, in tissue, or we know what even other acids do and what they're used for. So our body actually will thrive and heal based upon the proper pH balance. And so before going to the first slide, let's talk about meat, okay? Since I grew up with, my dad owned a meat plant, and you know, I just, I want to share with you, at least have the awareness of this. Some people like to eat raw meat, okay? Today I have an aversion to it, but let's say they ate raw meat. The body takes at least 70 to 72 hours to digest raw meat. It stays in the system that long. Let's say you cook the meat, and we're mostly talking beef, but a lot of times this is all meats to people. 48 hours to 52 hours to move out of the system. That's a long transit time. Okay. Then we have cooked vegetables at 24 hours to 30 hours. It takes to digest and move out of the system. Raw vegetables take 12 to 15 hours. And fruit takes 1.5 to 3 hours to move through the system. Okay, so let's say it's a hot summer day. We're going to take a piece of steak or hamburger, whatever, we're going to put it out on the sidewalk. And what do you think will happen in the 72 hours? Maggots. Okay, it's a lot of insects will be drawn to it, bacteria, and this is not any different than when it's in our natural heaters in our body, when it stays that long. When there's fermentation, there's a buildup of yeast, there's a buildup of mold, there's a buildup of bacteria that goes through to the gut and in the bloodstream. Okay, so I'm just raising an awareness of, because meat is considered very acidic, and that is what most people predominantly consume at their meals, especially the lunch and the dinner time. We might have the meat for 48 hours, okay, in the heat on the sidewalk, but symbolic, again, this is what happens when it goes inside our system. Same thing with the vegetables, okay? When you leave your vegetables out on a counter, it takes a lot longer before you see it kind of get mold on it and shrivel up. So then we're talking about our fresh vegetables, that's less time. Our fruit, again, that's just less time. So this is an awareness when we are consuming certain foods, what fermentation does this continue to have on our bodies over and over? I like this saying that I ran across. Let me get this real quick. Oh, so if we're overtired, we're over acidic. And I mean chronically, okay? If we're overweight, we're over acidic. If we're overstressed, we're over acidic. This is real consistent. Okay, and again, is there a need? Okay, some people have arthritic conditions. You know, some people have digestive gut conditions that they might feel the bloating, they might feel the indigestion, they might feel the heartburn. The first place we want to know for sure is, what is your pH? Okay, and definitely number 2 is to remove the toxins at that point. And for everybody listening on the call, I have ordered enough pH samples for 14 days that we thought would be in by today, but they're not, but they will be coming in. So for everybody who is on a call, that's going to be our gift to you. So you will have no excuse when we talk on the phone and I say, hey, what's your pH today? Right? And I'll tell you what, I'm right in there. I need some work with this myself. We just started, some of the employees here testing the pH, and we're not going to make it public information right now, but we might in 21 days. So anyways, with it affects, when there's too much acid in the blood, it affects our teeth. It affects our eyes. Every organ in the body is affected depending on the pH. Are you okay, Kimberly, to go ahead and put up that second screen? Okay, we'll flip to the next one. Okay, let's look at these foods a little closely. And I want to share also, for being on the call tonight, you will get this chart emailed to you tomorrow. So if it's, I think it's a good tool you can use. So highly acidic foods, and this is, again, not all of them, but this, of what most people are consuming. Then there's the moderate range. There's the mildly acidic range. And then there's the mildly alkaline. This is the area we want to start getting to. And then there's moderately and highly alkaline. So let's say after you take your pH test and you're at a range that is below what it should be, which we'll get to that chart here in a minute. What you could do for 24 hours, some people do it for 48 hours, pick highly alkaline foods. And that's what you want to eat for that whole day. Maybe you want to make tea and juices out of them. And again, there's so many more than what you see on here, but you could take moderately alkaline, whatever it is, even if you just make that 10% difference, whatever it is, and move out of the acid ranges, you're going to start feeling a difference. Now, most people consume a lot of meat, dairy products, white flour products, cheeses, potatoes. I mean, they consume foods that it's slowing down the body's metabolism. When we slow down the body's metabolism, we got fermentation going. Then we have the body doing a backup system. Okay, instead of getting everything to digest thoroughly the other way, it wants to come back back up through our mouth, whether it's through burping, whether it's regurgitation, whatever it is. And again, and I'll probably share this on every call, is drink your food and chew your water. Okay? Chewing thoroughly, and I've shared this before, an average of 24 times on a bite, this is the natural way, the main way the body can release enzymes to digest the food better to the stomach. Then it will go to the small intestine. Then it will go to the large intestine. So we're gulping down the food. And now we're becoming aware of, slow it down, chew the food more thoroughly, and start to get selective of your food choices. Okay. And like I said, we'll email this chart to you. And then let's go to the next chart, Kimberly. Actually, let's go to the next one. I think I'll come back to that. Okay. Now, in measuring your pH, the average is 6.8 to 7. Ideally, it would be 7. Okay. And acidosis, it's a condition in which the body chemistry becomes imbalanced and overly acid. Symptoms including sighing, insomnia, water retention, recessed eyes, arthritis, migraines, low blood pressure, strong perspiration. A person could fall asleep real easily, wherever they're at. So down a little further, there are 2 types of acidosis. There's the respiratory, caused by an interruption of acid control of the body, resulting in an overabundance of acid fluids or the depletion of alkali. Okay, this is where we want to bring in the alkaline foods. Then there's the metabolic. It occurs when the chemical changes in the body disturb the body's acid-base balance, creating an excessive amount of acid in the body fluids. Okay, and to take this test and to make these changes, you don't have to go out and spend thousands and thousands of dollars. This is so free to know. Okay, you're having a free class tonight to know this. This information absolutely can help reverse a lot of health conditions and symptoms that you're having. Here are 10 top alkaline foods. Okay, if make a grocery list, I would go to the store, I would get these foods. Okay, and again, rotate your foods. That's always good to do. Let's go to the next chart, because I want to talk with you about testing your pH. Was that enough time, Chris, or do you need that other chart back? Or can you unmute?
There. Nancy said you were going to email it, and I'm going to give her my email so she can send me, so you can send it to me.
Wonderful.
Also.
Okay, great, great. So testing your pH, you'll get a piece of litmus paper. Okay, you could test it with the saliva, or you could test it with your urine. Okay, when you want to test it is either before you eat or an hour after you eat. Okay, and you want to consistently do it on the same time of the day. Okay, if possible. And so here, as you can see, here's some directions on how to test your pH. So this is really, really cool. That let's say you test your pH, you know, after the class or next week when you get your strips, and it's pretty high. Okay, change your dinner, whatever meal you're going to do it after, an hour after you eat. Change the lunch or change the dinner. Start playing with your foods and see which is affecting your pH. And this isn't anything to be embarrassed about, by no means. Just be so glad you're learning to do it. It reminds me, this is what this reminds me of, and I was talking to Paul earlier about this. Because he's in construction and a lot of different things with the family for years like that. I said, have you ever removed carpet? And he's, yeah. Okay. Have you ever removed the carpet pad? You know, some of your experiences with that. Okay. How about what's under the carpet? Okay. That's what we're talking about. We can clean the carpet many times, whatever. And because we don't see the pad, we don't want to pay attention to what's under there. And then we don't want to see what's even under there. And it's been years, okay, until one day you decide, I'm going to pull this all up, okay? And actually, this happened to a neighbor of ours. And wow, what a deal. What a difference, okay, in the house. Our body's not too different, okay? We might first take layers at a time of changing the pH. And this is where the greens, coming in with the organic greens, I can't say enough about that. We have an organic green formula called Pura Green. It comes in handy, especially depending on your work schedule, where you're at, how much planning do you have for your food? I don't know. But I do know if you start taking 2 scoops a day of the organic greens on this level, or it takes a lot of greens, in 30 days, your pH consistently will change. And that's the goal. Okay. And as we were talking about the carpet and the pad under the carpet, these are the things that get to root causes, okay, of health conditions. is removing the debris, removing the toxicity, and being able to regenerate the cells. Okay, and that's what the alkaline foods do, helping with the immune system, helping to regenerate the cells of the body so we can focus more, think clearer. I really believe ultimately people want peace within and peace without. And it's hard to feel that fully if we're having issues with digestion or we're having pain in the body. So I really want, and we're offering just a discount with this, and I'm not here to, like, I hope everybody goes home and buys all this, no, I want to educate you on the power of turning your blood more alkaline so you can have more fullness of the healing that the body naturally will start to recognize, and it will start to do. We know in farming, in growing plants, in making gardens, and taking care of our lawns, it's so important that even the pH in the soil is right. Okay, it's very similar to our bodies. We have to have that proper pH. Now I want to, Kimberly, now if we could go back to that other, this is so great. Some of you may have already seen this, okay? It comes from the book Power versus Force. I absolutely love this. Emotions also affect our pH. Do you know under stressed conditions, like in seconds, let's say you just thought of something or something just happened and you reacted, and prior to that, your pH was 7, you were doing great. It only takes 20 seconds to change the blood pH under stress. It has the fastest, sharpest, quickest reaction our body does from a stress response, mentally, emotionally. I love this, okay? When we raise the vibration of our thoughts, anytime past 200, okay, we're already making a difference, not only within our own body, not only with the people around us, and Paul was sharing some of this, but also to the world. Okay, look at these feelings. No judgment neutralizes. That's on the level of water, and I mean purified water, alkaline water. Okay, it neutralizes it. This having the willingness to help others, having the willingness to serve, having the willingness to take care of ourselves, that feeling of, I'm not just going to sit there and rock my life away. Okay. It's the willingness. I want to do something about this. I want to make this better. I want to feel better. Okay. The acceptance. There are difficult situations we all have. But what helps to make a difference for the rest of the world in every cell of our body is when we come to the point and say, I accept what this is. I don't have to let it kill me. I don't have to stay depressed with it. I can live and create a life beyond. Reason, having a reason and a purpose for doing what you want to do, why you get up in the morning and brush your teeth, having a reason, having that ambition, having that enthusiasm. Love, to feel the unconditional love, to have your joy restored, to feel the peace within. And the most expansive one is what I believe why I am doing this, and I hope to share this with all of you, is restore all the gifts and matters and beauty of the heart for enlightenment and to be part of this powerful time of ascension on this planet and to be able to experience the fullness with this. So to me, in looking at this and looking at our you know, what we know about the pH of the body and some things that you can do. Okay, this, just to even do this chart right here and to make some changes in your life, you don't have to pay anybody another penny to do that. You don't have to exchange money anywhere. But what we are investing in our health, the body that is here to encapsulate these organs and the cosmos holding it together until we're done on this planet, is an honor to be able to do that. And that's why I like calling these series Own Your Own Body. It's similar to Own Your Own Life. Okay, no one is going to do it for us, but it's up to us to have the willingness to make. Maybe today you're just going to make another tweak and another change. Something more than what it was yesterday, something more than what it was even before this call. So after you get the pH paper, okay, some of you may already have some at your house, I'm not sure, but 21 days consistently, we are doing an alkaline challenge. Okay, does this sound great or what? Okay, and Kimberly's in charge. We have a Facebook that is just for people on the Zoom class here. But the challenge, the 21-day challenge, is so incredible. Okay, I'm not telling you you don't have to eat. I'm just raising the bar of the food choices that nature already has out there available, that 3 weeks, just 3 weeks, that you can come back and share with us. This made such a difference just by changing your food choices to more alkaline. If a person, and some of you may ask, I think we're done for now, Kimberly. That's good. Thank you. That what if you're above 7? What if you're 8? Okay, and this happens. It's rare, but it happens. People who have done way too much alkaline, I mean, exclusive, 100%, that's too high. Okay, that's too high. We have this can affect the heart in a negative way. So I want to say 75% alkaline food, 25% acidic. Okay, just to give you a range there. What if you're extremely low, way below 6? Okay, the body is saying dehydration. It's having a hard time hydrating. It can affect blood sugar balances. You might need to do some changes there. It definitely affects kidneys. Okay, now when we make some different choices in the pH right now, what is going to happen is what will happen is you're going to probably take out some foods that you love, okay, or you think you love, okay, but the body talks. I just heard this recently. We know that feelings buried alive never die. Everything is stored in our body, and the body talks. So it's letting you know. A person knows if they're having too much sugar. Let's say in the 21 days, just not having sugar, you take something out. I want to know you're putting something in, or a lot of something's in, that's alkaline. Okay, so instead of saying, oh no, I can't have my lollipops or something, or I can't have whatever it is, what about training your brain, your paradigm? I am eating to live. I am working preventively. I can do something about this and get more involved in my own wellness, okay, by making these choices. You can what was that quote you read earlier, Paul, from Sadhguru? You have to unmute.
It was something about listen to your body and not your tongue.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
the idea of, you know, who, what do you want in control here? Okay, and that's what you're going to get. But if you have your focus and you have your goals and you have a plan and work your plan for 21 days, okay, wow, it's not like I'm asking you to go amputate your leg, right? No, this is a blessing. This is a gift to be able to embrace a few changes for the next 21 days. So you heard a lot from me tonight. I'd like to hear something from some of you. Any comments, any questions?
Judy, I have a question. It's Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
The question I have is, does blood type play into alkalinity versus acidic in the body at all? Like, can some blood types take on more acid? I'm not suggesting everybody cheats. I'm just trying to understand if it plays into it at all.
So there are different body types and there's different blood types. Okay. And here's where you want to have your paper to keep testing, your litmus paper. Okay. Because some things, well, here's a situation. I know of a situation where a person was using just regular butter. Okay. And a lot of regular butter, and their acid levels stayed high. As soon as they switched to ghee, changed. Okay, so a person's gonna have to test this out. There will be some people might do very well with almonds, and the next person they don't. Okay, so the list is general overall, but here's where I said you want it. I would daily keep testing this. It takes for anything really consistently to change in the pH is about 21 days, but you'll be able to gauge this with some of your foods though.
Okay.
Good
Thank you.
question. Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts?
This was mind-boggling. Oh, thank you so much. This is like words which I needed to hear for so long, and I was blessed to be on here now because yes, my paradigm keeps telling me, oh, this don't listen to this because you're not going to be able to eat anymore. But thank you so much. This is real stuff here. Thank you.
Sure. If anything, the range of our food choices have expanded. Okay, when we limit them to just a few things, and this is what we do, rotation is so important. Okay, and it's the body gets sedentary mentally, it gets sedentary emotionally and physically by doing the same thing in the same way. Okay, and to be able to mix this up and start to have some other options of how to do this, this is good for me to study too, because I'm looking forward to making more committed changes in this area as well. And I think to be able to engage in this, no matter what is going on in the external world, what is going on in our internal world, it's massive. We have a lot of choices. We have a lot of options, and we have this divine intelligence that we're made through and with that knows how to heal. It works towards healing constantly all the time. And if you can imagine just a little bit of change that any of you can, make from what you learned tonight, shoot me an email. Love to hear about it. And we are going to be setting up here at Miracles of Health 21-day challenge on your pH. So doesn't that sound fun? I think so. now that I know a couple of the employees' levels, we are really going to do it. Mine included. But I want to thank everybody for joining with me tonight. Did you want to say something, Paul?
Yeah, very quick, if you don't mind.
No.
On this topic of alkaline and acidic, it was something, and some of you are aware of Jack Canfield. I know Joel knows him pretty direct, and he's the co-author of Chicken Soup for the Soul book. I remember him saying in a seminar once that cancer cannot survive in an alkaline body. And that was something I heard through him. And I've always remembered that in the back of my mind, the importance of being in an alkaline state. But here's an opportunity to get into that. So thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you. And I was listening to this morning about, I don't know if any of you have ever followed Sadhguru's YouTubes, and he was talking about the gut and he was talking about the meat, and he was very adamant that it feeds cancer, bottom line. He was so adamant, and I've never heard him talk like that. And I know from the environment I grew up with, and it's, I don't know, it has emotion in me, it has passion in me. If my brother makes me some smoked hot sausage, you know, but I feel like crap after. Okay. And so our bodies do talk. Our bodies are letting us know if something is feeling not digesting well, whatever it is, whatever the backup is anywhere, we can listen to it. But these are not hard changes. They're easy changes. What's hard is, it's not hard. Make the decision just to do it. So I want to thank everybody for joining, and you know, Danilo, it was so cool for you to get on tonight. And I know I'll be in touch with you soon on some stuff here. And thank you all, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And
Very nice. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
You, Judy.
Thank you. Thanks, Oren.
Lauren.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.